What comes to mind when you think of KFC? Fried chicken? Fries? Maybe a bucket shared with friends? Well, that's what I thought too, until I started looking at KFC in China. And the deeper I went, the stranger it got. Let's start with breakfast, because that's where things first got weird. For breakfast, I ordered a Beijing chicken wrap, porridge, a black sesame matcha latte, and they even have pork buns. And while looking through the menu, I found even more surprises. Traditional Chinese breakfast items and Western breakfast options too. At this point, it felt less like an American fast food chain and more like a local breakfast restaurant. I even bought a breakfast membership card for this video. Most breakfast sets cost around 10 to 15 RMB. Fast, affordable, and easy to grab on the way to work, which explains why so many people choose KFC for breakfast in China. Then came lunch, and somehow things got even stranger. For lunch, I had hot dry noodles and soy milk at KFC.
Let's give it like a 6 out of 10.
At this point, I wasn't even surprised anymore, because the deeper I looked into KFC China, the less it looked like the KFC most people know. Then, I accidentally discovered something else, KFC's late night menu. And that's how I ended up eating a giant fried squid late at night. By now, I had tried KFC for breakfast, lunch, and a late night snack. And honestly, I was starting to feel the consequences of my research. That's when I found this, KPRO, a healthier sub-brand inside KFC China. Salad, smoothie, lighter meals. And honestly, after spending 2 days exploring KFC China, I completely understood why KPRO exists. Because after all the fried food, sugary drinks, and late night snacks, all I wanted was an iced Americano and a salad.
It doesn't taste bad at all, but to be honest, as a healthy meal, it can't taste as good as a fried chicken. So I give this one an 8 out of 10.
And maybe that's why KFC feels different here. I still remember the first time I had KFC. I was in first grade. Back then, it felt like a reward, something special. My parents promised me a KFC meal if I practiced the piano hard enough. And I don't think I was the only one, because for a lot of people in China, KFC isn't just a restaurant, it's part of their childhood too. But food is only half the story, because KFC in China isn't just selling meals. It's selling experiences, collectibles, and sometimes even internet culture. When I filmed this video, KFC stores were covered in stage decorations for Children's Day. There were posters everywhere, special packaging, collectible merchandise, and online, people were already showing off what they got. But that's only the beginning. KFC China regularly partners with popular games, animes, and entertainment brands. Some restaurants even became themed fan spaces. At this point, it felt less like a fast food chain and more like a pop culture brand. And that pop culture influence doesn't stop inside the restaurant. It has spread all over the Chinese internet. And that's when KFC stopped being a brand and started being a meme. What started as a weekly promotion somehow became one of China's biggest internet jokes. Every Thursday, people post increasingly dramatic stories online. A breakup, a family tragedy, an emotional life lesson, only to end with the exact same request. Can someone buy me KFC? Every Thursday, the entire internet loses its mind over KFC. And that's when I realized something. It wasn't really a story about fried chicken. It was a story about how deeply KFC had become part of everyday life in China. And then I found one of the most surprising examples. KFC stores inside hospitals, including children's hospitals. At first, it sounds almost absurd, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Hospitals are crowded. People wait for hours. Parents need quick meals. Doctors and nurses need fast food between shifts. And for children, a familiar meal can be a small comfort in a stressful place. Suddenly, KFC inside a hospital doesn't feel random. It feels intentional. And it's not just hospitals. KFC has also expanded into subway stations, transportation hubs, charging stations, and other places where people already spend their time. And that's when everything started to connect. The breakfast, the late night menu, the KPRO, the collaborations, the memes. KFC isn't just expanding its menu, it's expanding into everyday life. After 2 days of filming this video, I only ate one piece of fried chicken. And I think that's why KFC became so successful in China. Not because it insisted on staying the same, but because it was willing to change, to fit local tastes, to fit local habits, and eventually to become part of local life itself. This is Coco. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.